What is up? What is up, DTube hexagons? So day 19. Day 19 here. Day 19 out of 100. Okay, so I checked out Twitter a little bit and I saw the news now that finally MetaMask has a mobile wallet and it's both for Android and iOS, which is pretty cool. And I checked it out a little bit, and what I mean with mobile wallet is most people when they are using Ethereum and interacting with HEX, they're using a desktop. They're using a desktop computer because it's the easiest way of doing it. But now MetaMask, so yes, you have been able to basically use MetaMask on Android if you're using the Firefox browser, but that takes a little bit of sophistication because you have to go and install first a third-party browser, Firefox, and then you have to go and install the MetaMask add-on, and yeah, I mean, and then sometimes you have to change tabs, which is I mean, it takes a couple of more steps. Now when MetaMask has it in the Play Store and people can just search for MetaMask. So if I search, it has 14 reviews, 100k downloads, and if you open the app, it's a really smooth experience because they have a quick access. I'm just gonna sign in here so I can see. Well, the animations are really smooth. So if I just log in here, okay, so you log in, you see Ethereum main network, you see your wallet, and you see your tokens, and you have a quick button here. This is kind of interesting. A quick button to purchase Ethereum, and this is kind of useful because this is something that is usually not even easy to do on desktop. Because even on desktop with MetaMask, if you want to buy some Ethereum, you have to go through a couple of steps, but it's just easier when you can do it on your phone. So if you type, or if you click buy Ethereum here in the MetaMask mobile app, it says bank transfer or debit card. So buy ETH with Transact, 33 countries supported, which is obviously pretty cool. I mean, 33 countries, that is pretty nice. I know on desktop it's Wire, I think, but here you have Transact, and it looks pretty cool here. So it does show my native fiat currency, and it shows that you can just convert it to ETH, and total fees would be, yeah, over here is like, is it like 20 bucks or something? Maybe that's a bit too much. I'm not sure. Processing 1 to 3 minutes. I mean, it's nice that you can do instantly with debit cards. It's pretty cool because I think that's gonna make stuff so much easier, you know? And what I kind of like here with this MetaMask app is if you click on the side, they have a built-in browser, and if you tap on that app, it goes to app.uniswap.org, or no, actually it doesn't, but it brings you to a page. Let's see if I go back here one step. Yeah, well, you can see for yourself when you try it out, but I can't go back here. But I like how they have quick access to the decentralized exchange Uniswap, and you can change between V2 and V1. And if you select token and you select the 1-inch kind of list of tokens, then HEX will show up in that list, which is kind of cool. So you can go from Ethereum to HEX right inside of the app. Now with the gas fees, still that will cost around, I think, like 15 bucks or something like that with the current GUI prices at the moment, and with Uniswap it's a little bit down from $30 that it did cost a couple of days ago. But it's nice, like it's nice how faster access or easier access to Ethereum, and also with a debit card, and also with Uniswap and HEX, that you can do it inside of one app on your Android smartphone or iOS that is also gonna have this kind of app. So yeah, it's cool. Like you can obviously see your transaction history also, and you can go to Etherscan pretty fast also. What else? Yeah, you have your regular security and privacy, and if you go to advanced, reset account, you have an IPFS gateway, and you have experimental features, wallet connect sessions, where you can see where it's connected. And if you go to general, you can change the standard currency, which is pretty cool, that you can change the default currency. And you can either use a fiat or you can use a crypto as a default currency, which is pretty cool. Yeah. You can't use HEX as default currency, I think, but you know, probably in the future. Yeah, but I appreciate seeing this, because doing it the other way is just like, this is just better, right? And it's nice with these small things that like improves. It's nice with these small things that improves the user experience for a new person. So so there is this funny thing now with so we're getting really close to the HEX big payday on November 19th, and it's really interesting. I've been considering kind of here. So okay, so people have now MetaMask and stuff like that in their phone and Android, and they can quickly use a debit card and like get some Ethereum. And it's kind of interesting from a game theory perspective to kind of consider this aspect now of these higher gas fees, these higher gas prices, where if someone makes like one swap from Ethereum to HEX and then maybe do one stake, maybe that costs still like 20 bucks or 30 bucks, maybe even up to 40 bucks still. And that is still like, it's kind of interesting, right? Because I think it's interesting because when you did stakes, when you purchased HEX back in the days, maybe a couple of months ago, you could do it very easily with like small trades, like a couple of dollars here and there. But now it's not really worth it, right? Because the gas fees is like 30 bucks. So that kind of makes it so you're probably gonna have less trades, but larger, like the ones that do trades from, for example, Ethereum to HEX, they're probably going to do some larger trades, like a couple of $100 per trade or something like that, especially when the gas fees are like 30 bucks for 2 transactions. And that's kind of interesting, right? Because I mean so there's a lot of people, I think, that's going to miss out on this big payday, because, well, if they didn't get it earlier, when they didn't get HEX when it was like easier, when the gas fee costs were like 1 cent or 3 cents. They didn't get it then. And if they want to try it out right now, or like get some if they want to get some HEX right now, they got to be ready for some gas fees, and then they would see that, yeah, to kind of get in and to get some HEX, it's going to cost you at least like $30 or something like that, because you probably are going to do 1 or 2 transactions. I mean, maybe if you go from a debit card instantly to Ethereum, but yeah, still, like if you went, oh yeah, because if you went from, okay, so if you go from a debit card to Ethereum and use some fiat money and instantly buy Ethereum, okay, maybe that's 20 bucks. And then you have to convert the Ethereum to HEX. Maybe that's another 15 bucks or something. And then you have to do a stake, and maybe that's another 15 bucks or something like that. I mean, you're kind of up to like maybe $50 just in a cost, just to get in the door, you know, and then you have the cost of the HEX, of course, also. And it's interesting how that may change things, that, you know, that we may only have like eventually, like, as some other people have coined it, like it's almost like you're building this new financial master race where people are kind of realizing, or a lot of people are realizing on Ethereum now, that the ultimate utility is just like the buy and hold aspect. And if you can just earn interest and like not move your coins around that much, and HEX has that product. Like HEX is true DeFi. It was the first DeFi on Ethereum, I would say, that was like real, complete, audited, no expectations, no promises. And yeah, it's like fascinating, because I was kind of considering, oh yeah, these last 3 months of this HEX launch phase, we will get a lot of small players coming in because they're kind of curious about what goes on. But now with these high gas fees, like a few months ago, they could get in super easy and like do these, like, okay, I'm gonna buy $10 of HEX, or I'm gonna buy $5 of HEX or something like that, and just pay a small gas fee. But now it's not really that easy to do that. Now you have to do almost like put in larger trades, like $100 or $150. So they're kind of being like priced out of the market. And Richard on Twitter, he said a very interesting thing, this aspect that on Ethereum, probably so financial apps on Ethereum is going to be what's going to outbid everyone that is not trying to do financial services or financial apps or financial smart contracts on Ethereum. So for example, all these people that are trying to do NFTs, or if they're trying to maybe even try to do some social media thing on Ethereum and need a lot of transactions all the time, they are going to be outbid by like the financial master race that is kind of going to come from from just holding and like earning interest and like collecting shares. And that's like an interesting thing, right? Because so if Ethereum, as it seems like right now, with like billions of dollars locked up in Uniswap and SushiSwap, billions of dollars locked up there of Ethereum and a bunch of different coins, stable coins, and so on. It seems like, yeah, Ethereum is mainly just going to be, yeah, you're going to have this like master financial class on Ethereum that's just going to outbid everyone else. Like, yeah, if you want to like anonymize some coins on Ethereum, I saw it can cost like 200 bucks just for the gas fee. So it's like this new financial class that's basically going to run Ethereum, and everyone else is but like gonna try to build something else, and they need a lot of transactions throughput on top of Ethereum. They're probably gonna have to try some other chain or something, because they're probably gonna be outbid, like, because their regular users won't be able to like afford probably to, yeah, if they need to do a lot of transactions all the time, if they're buying and selling like if they're buying and selling NFTs and so on, if they always like need a lot of transactions, yeah, they're gonna be outbid by the people that are doing finance on Ethereum, and that's gonna be very, very interesting to see kind of how it plays out. Because yeah, I mean, a lot of people think that most value is from that you get most value from like most value you're getting is probably just like buying and holding and like never selling, you know. While some other people are trying to do some fancy projects and but that costs money and time and energy, and it's like it's very hard to make other things. Like it's hard to make something successful, because it's like you need to pay people, you need to have a staff, and yeah, you need money, and yeah, it's like it's hard to build up a community and so on. So the people that got the richest in Bitcoin was like the people that just like bought early and probably like, yeah, just held for 10 years and then maybe then sold at the top or something like that. While other people that tried to do fancy stuff on Bitcoin, like mining and so on, or trying to do some other vanity stuff on Bitcoin, they probably made less money than people that just held and did nothing over 10 years. Yeah, that's something that's just funny to kind of consider. It's interesting also if you look at crypto fees, cryptofees.info, and we see here that or 1 day fees on Ethereum is $11 million. Uniswap V2, second position here, $2.5 million. Bitcoin is only at $1.3 million and like second position here in 1 day fees. And the fees, crypto fees, is basically like there's tons of crypto projects. Which ones are people actually paying to use? Like this is pretty good kind of stats to know. You see that Uniswap is an app, is a smart contract on top of Ethereum, and people willing to pay $2.5 million to Ethereum miners to trade on this decentralized exchange. That's amazing, because that's almost twice of the fees that Bitcoin miners are getting. Like that's just amazing to me. Ethereum miners are quite profitable now. And after Bitcoin, you have Balancer, 361,000 fees in 1 day. And then we have Curve, 85,000 fees in 1 day. So Curve, Balancer, Uniswap, these are all apps on top of Ethereum, right? And it's kind of like dominating pretty intensely here. And it's kind of fun to see. So yeah, the main thing that I want to talk a little bit about was, yeah, MetaMask is great. It's a great app on Android. I haven't tested it on iOS, but I assume that it's used as great then. And we know that Steph is working for HEX on a staker app, which is going to be probably pretty cool when it comes, because we know that HEX Out Live is one of the best stat websites for HEX, along with hex.vision and hexinfo.io. So yeah, that's a little bit about what I wanted to talk about. It is time is moving fast. It is moving quite fast. I mean, it is soon going to be October, and October is just a month before the big payday. November, yeah, after October, November comes. So we're getting extremely close to this this big payday. And I did also some math. Like if you look at if you go to go.hex.com and you look at daily data and you see daily payout total, you can see at the moment it's around, or yeah, now it's up to, last day was 38 million hex that comes out in 1 day to stakers. And I did some math on the days before, when it was before that we had around 10 days with like 37 million hex shout out to stakers per day daily payout total. And I did some math, like how long time would it take to double the supply with that, because it should, and it took if you have 37 million, let's do the math. If you have 37 million new hex being paid to hex stakers daily, to double the supply of hex, which at the moment is around 400 billion. So we take just 400 billion and we divide it by 37 million. How many days would it take? 10,810 days. How many years are that? That is 29 years. So it would take 29 years, 29 years to double the supply, to add another 400 billion hex. Now we also know, of course, that at the moment HEX supply goes up by 1 billion per day from the adoption amplifier, but that's going to end in less than 100 days. And after that, if you want another 400 billion HEX coming out in circulation, it's going to take 30 years. So it's like we're doing most of the coins, the lion's share of HEX is being shared out to stakers 2020 this year. And then just to double the supply, another 30 years. I think that is like, that's some amazing stats. And it should be, because the global inflation rate of HEX is 3% or 3.69%. I think, which if you take that, if you take 3.69% and we just take that times 29, or like, yeah, around 29, you get around 100%. Maybe like 28. It's not perfect, but you know, yeah, but it is. If you have a 3%, it takes around 30 years to double, and that's cool to know. I think that is like fascinating to know, because Bitcoin, if you go look at what Bitcoin has had, like 2011, it had around, was it 100% inflation or something like that, and then it went down to 60%, and then over the years it like trickled down, and now it's at, I think, around 1.7% inflation. But over these 10 years, it took like 10 years to go down there, right? And here we already have like very, very low after this year one launch phase of HEX tokens. And I think that that's very exciting. There were some end stakes that happened a couple of days ago, and yeah, the day payout was then 56 million HEX in a day, which was around how many more HEX is that to stakers? And that's around 18 million more HEX paid to stakers, because there were some people that end staked early, and they paid a lot of fees to the staker class. They get around, I think, around 50%. And yeah, it's fascinating. It's fascinating how people getting paid from early end stakes and late end stake penalties. Yeah, that's what I want to talk a little bit about today. Android, MetaMask, cool, and for iOS, of course. Yeah. And day 19. Time is moving fast. It's moving very fast. Have a great day, D2.